It's here, almost. The Detroit Lions 2022 schedule is arriving here shortly. I'm Dannie Rogers. Thanks for tuning into our schedule release show presented by Lions Experiences here at the Lions Allen Park training facility. Joining me in a few short moments is NFL Network Cynthia Frelund to give us the mathematical insight on where Detroit can potentially see some wins this season on their schedule. Then we will release Detroit's official schedule video. I know you all have been looking forward to it. A quick Google of Detroit Urban Survival Training will give you a hint on this year's theme. Finally, DetroitLions.com writers Tim Twentyman and Mike O'Hara will join me to break down all of the matchups. First up, though, we've got some trivia, and this is a schedule leak, folks. We can reveal it to you. Week 1 at home, Detroit Lions will be facing the Philadelphia Eagles. So that brings us to the trivia question. When was the last time the Lions season opener was against the Eagles? Hint, it was a very, very long time ago. Don't think too hard about that one, folks. We've got a lot to digest in the show. We know who and where Detroit Lions are playing this year, just not when yet. Here's a look at the opponent list. NFC North teams on deck, of course. Lions will also get a shot at the AFC and NFC East opponents, as well as Jacksonville and Seattle at home, and the Carolina Panthers of the NFC South will be on the road. I am now joined by NFL Network analytics expert Cynthia Frelund, a Michigan native, making Okemos proud. You got the Lions gear. We love that, Cynthia. You rock for that. Thanks so much for joining us. I know you're breaking down schedules as we speak, and with the draft just wrapping up, you've got rookies reporting here to Detroit for rookie minicamp. I got to know, what are your expectations for Detroit this season, just based off the events that have just occurred?
Yeah. So after the draft, first of all, I loved the draft. I thought that the Lions did a really great job. They had the second biggest win share increase. So that's kind of like a metric like WAR in baseball that measures the individual, that attempts to measure the individual contribution of each player. So they added 1.2 total wins, which is a really nice addition. It does help to be playing some of the opponents help out, right? Some of the other opponents do help out in lifting that up, meaning that now the Lions have a better chance of beating those specific opponents, which of course we've known who and we've known where, but today we're finding out when.
What do you think could really even enhance that win total projected, if it can at all, before going into the regular season?
Every team benefits if they play stylistic teams that they can get their kind of legs under them against quicker out of the gate. So I would say that because the defense has some new pieces, and of course there's new pieces on offense too, but I would say that getting a situation where maybe some leakier O-lines are there, get Aiden Hutchinson a few sacks to start the season off, that's probably the way to go. It would be nice to play the Bears first. I'm going to say it. I'm a fan. I'm allowed to. It would be nice because they didn't address their O-line at all. So let's go. Why not? Just let them at him.
Yeah, you're mentioning the NFC North right now, which of course we know Lions will get a crack at them, but you've got half of the NFC North teams in Minnesota and Chicago with new coaching staffs. You've got Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. He won't have Davante Adams there in the receiving corps tossing to him anymore. So who has the edge right now in the NFC North?
It's very hard with the two-time reigning back-to-back. Well, I guess he's more than two-time, but reigning back-to-back MVP. I mean, quarterback is the most valuable position, and the Packers defense did get better this offseason. I hate to admit it, but they did. And then when I look to see what's going on with their wide receivers, it feels like Aaron Rodgers will yet again figure this one out. We do still have to deal with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. They have a lot of pieces on that offense. I know pass catcher's one of them. They did get a second rounder. I understand there's no first round. They never draft first, whatever, the whole thing. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers does make his receivers better. So while I don't think it's as much of a head and shoulders slam dunk as it was with Davante Adams, it never would be. I still think that, unfortunately, that's the team in the division to beat.
Okay, so where is Detroit stacking up among the rest of them then?
I'm really interested to see where it all nets out once all of the dynamics of the schedule are in place, because I do think whoever's the second best team in the NFC North has a great shot of making it to the playoffs. Because look at it. If you look at name the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, or in the NFC rather. Tom Brady, we got it. Aaron Rodgers also got it. Maybe Matthew Stafford, but then after that, there's a lot of question marks. There's like a lot of guys who are right in that middle range. So it leaves the door open for the schedule to be a big indicator of, okay, well, we got some more fourth place people on our schedule. So whatever, right? Like how do you fare in that? I think that if this Lions team starts off a little hot, I think we could be looking at second in the NFC North.
Ooh, okay. I like that right now. Lions will also be facing off, we know, against the AFC and NFC East conferences. I mean, in terms of maybe some upsets out of conference, where do you see maybe those coming into play for the Lions?
Well, I'm hopeful, and I don't know yet. The schedule has not been given to me yet, but I'm hopeful to see a Lion beat a Dolphin on Thanksgiving in Detroit. I think that would be a lot of fun. Lions eat Dolphins, right? I think that's how it goes.
100%,
so
yes.
I would like to see that. And I think that would be considered probably an upset given that Tyreek Hill is a part of that offense now. So I would really like to see that one. That one's the one I'm kind of hoping for. It's going to be difficult in the AFC East. The Bills have something kind of special going on, and they're going to have to, I think the Bills know that they're going to have every single one of those games come off clean. So you're not going to see a Bills team that will be sleeping on anyone because there is no room error, there's no margin of error there that's going to be acceptable. So that's not one I would look at, but I think Pats, I think Jets, and I think, those Dolphins, they're all up for grabs.
Okay, Detroit will also see Jacksonville, and they'll see Carolina here coming up this season as well. Do you see any opportunities for W's for the Lions in those matchups?
Yes. Yes. I think, look, Carolina is an interesting one because, whenever you see, and we know it, we've lived it, when you don't exactly know what's going on at quarterback, you don't exactly know what's going on with the coaching staff. It's been 3 years, 3 seasons, and now it's feels like it's make or break time. You see, they swung and they basically missed at all of these free agent quarterbacks that were on the market, and a lot of people moved this year. They didn't get one. So when I look, that one's dicey. I think that one is a very achievable game. I would like to get them early in the season too. Let's do that. And then the Jacksonville Jags, the earlier in the season, the better, because I do think Trevor Lawrence is a big talent and he will get better. I love Doug Peterson, what he's able to do with new guy. I mean, you saw it with Carson Wentz. He hasn't been able to work for anyone other than for Doug Peterson. So I like their coaching staff, and I think their free agency was very confusing, but I think in general, this is going to be a much improved team, but I still think that one's achievable too. But like I said, those two would be nice, first 6 games.
Okay. All right. I know there's a lot of love coming out of a lot of places for this Detroit Lions staff and really what they've been able to do with this draft. So I know being from Michigan, and I know you're always keeping tabs on this team, just what are your thoughts on what Dan Campbell has been able to do with this franchise so far?
Well, first of all, can we talk about how Jamal Williams has the low-key best personality? He needs to be on my TV every week. Yes. I need Hard Knocks should just follow him and only him around, even though he doesn't care, whatever, he's great. Same with Dan Campbell. I wanted to know so badly how much caffeine he consumed during draft week. I had so many questions, but there's just a lovable staff. And look, obviously all kidding aside, people want to play for Dan Campbell, and that's really special. It's not often that you see teams that don't have winning records for a long time have coaches that people go to the mat for. So it's really special, and it means a lot. And it feels like, despite some hardships and things that it doesn't feel good not to win. I see all the teams in the league. It is hard to not win. And for them to come back and feel they're invigorated by this staff. And, there's all these questions. Should Jared Goff be looking over his shoulder, whatever? You don't hear Jared doing anything weird, Baker Mayfield-esque. Everyone's kind of keeping their cool. And that's a testament to the coaching staff and the people in place here who are making it easier and more fun, and remembering that this is a game, but they're like a family at the same time too.
I agree. It means a lot to us that you're joining us here to give us a little insight on Detroit Lions schedule release. Cynthia, hopefully NFL Network sends you home to Detroit sometime. You can get your debut on Hard Knocks. Let's go.
Rory, I have gotten to talk about the Lions a lot. This is such a good draft. Keep drafting this well so that I can talk about everybody looks good in Honolulu blue. So there's really nothing wrong with it. Everybody looks good in it. We can talk about it all the time. Let's go.
Dan and I've always said, you can call us the land of opportunity. We don't care where you come from. We don't care where you got drafted. We don't care about any of that. If you step in this building, you got an opportunity to compete.
The Detroit Lions bring the Ford Field atmosphere on the road with Lions Experiences. As the official fan travel partner of the team, Detroit Lions Experiences offers all-inclusive fan travel packages that come with a game ticket, hotel accommodations, meet and greet, and more. Turn enemy territory into Lions country with access to a pre-game tailgate party hosted by a Lions legend and other exclusive extras. Secure your tickets today by visiting lionsexperiences.com.
Dan and I've always said, you can call us the land of opportunity. We don't care where you come from. We don't care where you got drafted. We don't care about any of that. If you step in this building, you got an opportunity to compete.
Welcome back to Detroit's schedule release show presented by Lions Experiences. And did you know you can join in on the action from home and away this upcoming season? Detroit isn't the only place to catch a Lions game this season. Whether you are outside of the state of Michigan or want to travel to a new stadium with one pride, Lions Experiences provides a one-of-a-kind experience for fans to continue their support on the road. With an official ticket package from Lions Experiences, fans get exclusive access to away game experiences. Packages include VIP hospitality with an all-inclusive pre-game tailgate, hotel accommodations, exclusive gifts, game tickets, and more. Learn more at www.lionsexperiences.com. All right, we are moments away from releasing the Detroit Lions schedule video that will give you insight into all of the teams, places, times Detroit Lions will be playing this upcoming season. But I'm joined by Tim Twentyman and Mike O'Hara right now. Guys, when you look at this schedule, what do you go for first that catches your eye?
I think I'm a little old to be excited about this kind of stuff, but I look at Thanksgiving Day and then how do they close out the season?
Okay.
To me, it's where they start. Every season you want to get off to that good start. Are they home? Are they away? And then, the night games, the primetime games, which one of those kind of mix up the week, changes up the schedule a little bit. When are you on prime time? Those are kind of some of the few things I look at right away.
I know I'm always looking for Turkey Day, who the Lions got, and then will it be a cold tundra that the Lions will have to travel to in Week 18? That's always what I'm looking for and hoping the football gods don't do to us this season.
For Mike and I, it's 70 degrees. It's perfect in the press box. But for people who deal more down on the field, I understand that that's where your eyes might shift for, that focus there late in the year.
Exactly.
What he's saying is he's trying to pretend that we care about you.
You don't. I know you don't. It's
just get out there and work.
I know you don't. Lucky for us, Week 1 has already been released. It's out there. Philadelphia at home. And that plays into our trivia question. Don't give the answer, although Mike might know this. He might have been around for this.
You just assume Mike would know and I would.
What's this, a Civil War story?
When you hear the answer, you're going to giggle. When's the last time that Detroit opened against the Philadelphia Eagles at home?
Ooh.
Any guesses?
This might be before my time.
Does the Liberty Bell have anything to do with this?
It's a minute ago.
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm guessing it's been a while, though.
It's been a very long time.
Okay, so
that's all I'll say.
Predates me.
Yes, it does.
I feel better then. Does it predate me?
Do I look at my driver's license to see how old I am?
Yeah, honestly, but that'd be a little too much math for me to do.
Look out.
Mike,
Hang on.
Mike's going to start throwing more papers. Okay, yeah, we are moments away from releasing the schedule, but Philly, Eagles, just first thing that comes to mind when you see that at home Week 1.
Because they got beat the week before the bye last week.
Yes.
They absolutely got torched. So I make up for it.
Okay, there you go.
And for me, I think 3 years in a row now, beginning the season at home. So, you know, that's a nice little way to start the year, right? Get the home crowd involved. Obviously, a better chance to win when you're at home. So, a good opportunity for Dan Campbell and this Lions team to get off to a good start at home.
I think they're going to start a little hotter than they did last year. If you're playing the Lions towards the end of their schedule last season, you had to be on guard. You never knew what was going to happen. So, I think Lions can start a little bit hotter this year.
It's just always good to kick the season off at home. You get the home fans involved, you get everything, and then you get that win. Now there's some excitement building, and you're off and running. You know, you're on the road, especially if you're out west or something like that. It just seems like a disjointed way to start the season.
And start taking advantage of Ford Field, okay?
Yep.
Take advantage of your home. It's tired of people ruling our home, okay?
It is a beautiful stadium. Okay, folks, it is time. Detroit Lions 2022 schedule reveal. We are showing you how the Lions are putting their best survival tactics to use with this one. Take a look.
Detroit Urban Survival Training. Right now we're going to share with you intelligent options the Detroit Lions will be using to increase winnability throughout the 2022 season. The best way to deal with a threat is to eliminate it before it becomes a threat. If you ever need to strip a football from a founding father, here's what you do. Step 1, push the elbow forward. Step 2, pull the wrist in. Step 3, take it to the house, the White House. If a Norseman tries to block you, step 1, grab the wrist. Step 2, lean forward. Step 3, sack the quarterback. Ooh, pretty sure you won't be playing with a Wilson this year. In order to stop them from grabbing you, here's what you can do. When they reach out, you're gonna go here to the wrist and then here to the elbow. And then that is gonna send them past you so you can keep going. Break's over. Normally in this situation, we take down just like this. In this case, because of tall boots, we use a snake in the boot. The key to defeating a bipedal dolphin is this. Number 1, remove the fish you've been keeping in your pocket. Number 2, use it to divert their attention. Number 3, implement temple takedown. When an opponent tries to block you, step 1, grab the wrist. Step 2, lift the elbow. Step 3, take it to the ground. Bear down. As the saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. My friend Bill here has requested that I assist him with his tailgating festivities. Is that right, Bill? Here we go. Ooh, I guess you already know a little bit about urban survival. Another way to subdue a Viking is to realize that without a helmet, they're just an average person with above average face wear. No need to worry about disarming this team. They tend to do that all by themselves. If you have to defeat a high tackle, here's what you can do. Step 1, go forward with your elbows. 2, push down on their shoulder. Step 3, lift up on their forearm. Take them down. If you anticipate a bear approaching from behind, in the woods, or perhaps in the standings, here's what you can do to gain the advantage. Step 1, step to your left. Step 2, step to your right, right behind them. Step 3, stand up. If someone tries to inhibit your forward progress, here's what you can do. Step 1, grab the palm, lift it up. Step 2, pull down so their elbows locked. Step 3, escort them away.
A really fun piece Detroit Lions media producers put together on the urban survival of the Detroit Lions getting through this 2022 schedule. A favorite part in that video? You guys have one?
Those guys always do a great job with those videos. You know, they're so creative every different year. You know, there's something new every year. But I have to say that the Jacksonville one, I kind of like there.
I know.
The little jab there. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's something different every year, and that's what I like about it. They put some thought into it. They just have to, well, we did it last year. Just run it and change the names. You know, I like the way they do their work.
I love it. Okay, we have got to get to the schedule breakdown here for us. So we are starting with week 1. We have told you already. It is Philadelphia at home. Week 2, Detroit Lions staying at home at Ford Field. They'll be taking on the Washington Commanders. Week 3, they are going on the road to face their first NFC North opponent in the Minnesota Vikings. Week 4, they're staying at home, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Week 5, going on the road, taking on the New England Patriots, rather. Week 6 is a bye week. I'm curious to know if this is a little bit earlier than anticipated. Week 7, traveling down to Texas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. And then Week 8, they're returning home to take on the Miami Dolphins. So weeks 1 through 8, Tim, what sticks out to you first about that first half of the season?
Well, a couple things. I think first off, the timing of those. I think 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
What is this, TikTok?
It's straight Sunday 1 o'clock games.
Yeah.
And so, I think early in the season, you can start to generate a schedule, for the players. There's some consistency there. Everything is going to be just, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Some people, might want the Monday night games, the Sunday night games and stuff like that. But I think early in the season, that allows you, hey, we know we're Sunday 1 o'clock, let's build our schedule. I think, a couple other things, 3 of the first 4 games at home. I think you always love that. It's an opportunity to get off to a good start. 5 of their first 8 at Ford Field.
Yeah.
So there you go. Right? Like Mike said, in the introduction portion of the video is let's take advantage of Ford Field, right? Let's take advantage of our house. They didn't do a good enough job of that last year, early in the season. Well, look, now this schedule allows them an opportunity, 5 of their first 8 at Ford Field. Take advantage of your home territory and get off to a good start. You're going to play a majority of your games on the road the second half of the schedule. So let's take advantage of this at home. And then, you talked about the Week 6 bye. I think teams would like to see that probably more Week 8, Week 9, split it up right in half like we saw with the team last year. But I don't think Week 6 is too bad. You certainly don't want to see it Week 4 when the first, they've had that a couple times before.
Yeah.
Week 4, Week 5, that's a real, early. Now you're talking about a 13, 14-week stretch of games consecutively. So, look, they get a couple injuries early on. It gives them an opportunity, Week 6, to rest up, heal. Then they've got a 12-week stretch. But you'd like to see it maybe a little bit later, but it's not too bad. So, those are some of the things that jump out in that at least first 2 months of the season for me.
Okay, let's take a look at the latter part of the schedule. Mike, I'm having you break this down, your first thoughts on this part of the schedule. So Week 9, home against Green Bay, the first time they'll take on those Packers of the season. Week 10, back-to-back NFC North foes. They've got a road game against Chicago. Week 11, they're staying on the road. First of 2 trips to New York, actually New Jersey. Take on the Giants first in that one. Week 12, Thanksgiving Day, home versus the Buffalo Bills. I'm curious to know what you had to say about that, Mike. Week 13, home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Week 14, it's home against Minnesota. That's round 2 for them. Week 15, going back out to New York. They'll take on the Jets. Week 16, going on the road, staying on the road. That's a Saturday Christmas Eve game, so that'll be an interesting one. Not on Sunday, not on Christmas Day. I prefer that, I'm not going to lie. Week 17, home versus the Chicago Bears, and then they are wrapping up the end of the schedule in the frozen tundra, football gods, at Green Bay, last game of the season. Mike, what jumps out to you about that second half of it?
Well, really quickly, first of all, Thanksgiving Day against Buffalo, and that was always been a friendly rival of the Detroit Lions, mostly because the late Ralph Wilson was the owner of the Buffalo Bills and a Metro Detroit guy. So I always think about Thanksgiving Day, the tradition, the parade downtown, the turkey trot race. I think it's a 10K race that they're still doing, and some other stuff. So that's what I think about first, and then. To me, it's the end of the season, and Chicago and Green Bay. Try not to freeze at the good, but enjoy. Just dress warm. But to me, I think that's just great. The league has gone to playing the division rivals in Week 18, but also Week 17 too. So, guys, be in the race. Have something to play for. Not just playing out the string, not playing for pride, but be in the race. And the other one I've already talked about. Make Ford Field your home, start winning games there. And then what really struck me most of all is 5 games against division rivals at the end. If you're going to be in the race, guys, here's your chance. You'll never have a better one.
Ooh, okay.
You know what? And I'm sort of projecting that they will be.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a factor this year at some point.
You're not the only one. I spoke with NFL Network Cynthia Frelund in this show as well, and she has, the Packers at one there.
And it goes with Aaron Rodgers is under center in Green Bay. The NFC North goes through Green Bay. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so, look, if you want to do something as a Detroit Lions, you got to slay the beast.
Yeah.
You got to take down Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. You get a great opportunity week 17 on the road. Like Meg said, let's hope you're playing for something.
I know.
Let's hope you're in that battle for playoffs, maybe even in the battle for the division title. And those games, week 17 or week 18 to 19, 17 and 18, excuse me, they really mean something playing Chicago and Green Bay. That'd be fun.
And one thing about the bye week last year, it came after the 8th game. The Lions were 0-8. Came back, they played their best ball in the second half of the season. Now it wasn't because of the bye week, but you can kind of get refreshed. You can kind of work on some things. I think the head coach Dan Campbell used his bye week to work on his team, and some of that can pay off. It's not just a shot in the dark or anything, but you have evidence that can help a team, especially the Detroit Lions, because they have a young team. They really do. They shouldn't be all beaten up. It's not a bunch of veterans on their last legs. So I think that plays very, very well for the Lions.
And Danny, when you look at this schedule, I think it's the fifth easiest in terms of what the winning percentage for the
Correct.
teams were last year. I just look at this stretch of games starting. We talked about getting off to a good start and starting early and being in the hunt. But when you start, right around week 10, you've got Chicago, the New York Giants, Buffalo Bills. Obviously, that's going to be a very tough matchup on Thanksgiving. But Jacksonville Jaguars, Minnesota Vikings, New York Jets, Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears. I mean, to me, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 7 games that are very winnable, right at that mid-stretch point of the season, right before you turn to that home stretch. And so I think that's going to be a critical point in the schedule right there. Buffalo obviously is one of the top teams in the AFC. That's going to be a tough task, but you get them at home and hopefully you play good football and you can be in that game, win that game. But to me, those games leading in and out of Thanksgiving, that's really an opportunity to make some hay and set yourself up for the stretch run.
And one thing just to play off of what Tim just said, I think last year, somebody called one of the sports books in Las Vegas, and they couldn't find a game where the Detroit Lions would be favored out of any of the 17. I don't think that's the case this year. Okay. I think we'll be keeping a close eye on the betting line, or at least Tim will. And I will.
You're getting
Not
into
me.
dicey waters there, Mike.
Keep an eye on
the whole gambling thing. Okay, so I know the draft has just passed. Rookie minicamp is coming up. But the rookie class that Detroit brought in, the win share percentage went up about 1.2 games after Detroit finished their draft. That means, and Cynthia Frelund, she explained this great earlier. She said that it's the percentage that each individual player has towards a team winning. It went up 1.2 games just based off who was drafted. I mean, where do you see that playing, being the most impactful on this schedule, maybe picking up that extra game?
Well, I don't know which game it would be, but just overall, you're going maybe from 7 and 8, or I'm not 7 and 8, 7 and 10 to maybe 8.5, and that might get you a wild card berth. And actually what we're talking about is a game and a half, really.
Yeah.
And I think that you've got a chance. We're really looking at potentially at least a wild card team.
I think those are great statistics, and people come out with the draft grades afterward and all that stuff, and all that stuff's great to talk about and really good, but you've got to let these guys get on the field and play first. I think it's really hard to project what a rookie is. I mean, we see it every year. Guys at the top of the draft just don't pan out to be the players they were. Guys in the back of the draft end up, having terrific careers. You've got to give these guys a little bit of time. But that being said, I think certainly when you look at what Detroit has done in the draft, you expect Aiden Hutchins to come in and be a big impact player on that defense. Jameson Williams, as soon as he's healthy, he's going to be
that later
big
stretch, I think,
impact person on that offense, be able to dictate coverage and stretch the field. Josh Pascal, it's going to be an impact player both inside and outside. So, I think when you look at those, and I think, what maybe those numbers indicate is I think Detroit got some players in the draft that are expected to be really impact players right away. They didn't draft guys with the promise of, hey, he could develop into this, or we're going to bring him along slowly and put him in here. No.
I think we've learned that. Detroit doesn't
These guys are going to jump in and they're going to play and they're going to impact good or bad right away.
I agree. If you guys could put your football helmets on, we're talking about some rookies here. If you're a rookie playing in the league, you go on the road to Dallas, to New England, Green Bay, last game of the season in the frozen tundra. Which game do you think that they might be, maybe have some butterflies looking at?
Oh, I think Dallas was just the sign of the stadium and all that. I think it would be maybe Green Bay, the frozen tundra. I think that's sort of like the 12th team in the Big Ten or whatever, Green Bay. There's almost a reverence to playing there. You can't get caught up too much in that. But to me, it would be Dallas. It really would.
Well, I think for me, normally in a normal year, I think when that rookie gets to a Monday night game, right, prime time in front of everybody.
And last year it was Green Bay.
If they get to a Sunday night game, prime time, everybody a Thursday night game. But you look at the schedule, and I know you didn't include the times in the games on that, but there's no primetime games for Detroit. They have one this year on Thanksgiving. To me, if I'm Dan Campbell, I don't know. Do you? I'll pose this question to you guys. Do you use that as motivation at all? Now, look, it's a 3-win football team, and so I understand. But you didn't get Monday night. You didn't get Sunday night. You didn't get any national. You're 1 o'clock every Sunday all week long, except for 12:30 on Thanksgiving. Now we'll see what week 18 is. They can flex that out,
right?
And there's that ability late in the season, but. Do you use that? Is that a motivational tool for you if you're Dan Campbell at all, as potentially a slight or anything of that nature?
I think you might keep it in your back pocket and use it when you think it might help you. But the thing about those 1 o'clock games and all that, and we talked about this before the show, Danny. In 1999, the St. Louis Rams played all 1 o'clock games because they were so historically bad the entire decade. They lost their quarterback for the season. In the next to last preseason game, they went 13-3, won the Super Bowl.
I mean...
So we can do all this stuff about splitting hairs and what that stuff means. Get out on the field and earn it.
I like how running back Jamal Williams, his approach was, and I can't use the language he uses most of the time, but he doesn't care really who they play, when they play them. Just put someone else in front, put someone in front of them so that they can win a ball game and get to the ultimate goal. So I think that's the road I'm going to take on that one. Just put them in front of them. But I do like, Tim, you keep saying the consistency of having that schedule throughout the entire season. I think that's great as well, and that's kind of a no excuse territory.
No, as a player, your Monday schedule is going to be what it is. I mean, your whole week. When you play those Sunday night games and those Monday night games, and you're on the road and you're not getting back till 4 or 5 in the morning, that changes Mondays. Even with coaches, it changes how you set up. You have to do a lot of pre-work. I just think these athletes are kind of sometimes just creatures of habit, and this schedule to me just sets up to a point where, boy, every single week's exactly the same. Our schedule's going to be exactly the same Monday through Saturday. We travel at this time. Every single game's 1 o'clock. You don't have to go out west. Dallas is the farthest you go. So I just think from a player coaching standpoint, if I look at this, I love this schedule from the time standpoint that there's just consistency built from week 1 to week 18 through the schedule.
I think travel as well. Second least amount of miles, a part of all 32 NFL teams.
Yeah.
Detroit has the second least.
Even a couple of the road games, Chicago and Green Bay, could you get any closer than that?
I know.
I mean, it's you could just run a Winnebago and take the team, and and we'll see you next week.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But out to New England, out to Boston, twice to New York. I mean, we're talking same time zones
Those are quick
here.
flights.
Carolina, that's not a long flight, and so I love how the consistency is built through this.
Okay, I would love to know what upsets you think could be brewing on this schedule. I know you've got Green Bay, they're at the top of the NFC North. I know Washington is projected to be a pretty good team this year as well. Seattle got the best of Detroit last year. They'll get another turn at them. You got Bills on Thanksgiving. Okay.
Me too.
I've got it.
Who is it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, come on.
Dallas. The Lions have played pretty well against Dallas in the last few years, and I think, look, Dallas to me is the most overrated team in any sport.
Ooh, hot take, no?
I think the Detroit
Fighting
Lions
words.
can go to Dallas and beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, last time they played, Week 11,
Yeah.
2019, Dallas did get the best of them, 35-27. So that'll be a little...
One touchdown
what?
and an extra point.
Yeah, you just keep going.
For me, week 5.
How could you do this to me?
I think Gillette Stadium is such a tough place to play. And obviously Bill Belichick and the history of that organization. Mac Jones is going to be better in his second year. But I think that's an opportunity for the Lions week 5 to go on the road and win in New England. I think that would be that's my upset pick early on. Lions at New England beating Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
Ooh.
I don't
What
think
about you?
I don't think it's that big of an upset, by the way.
I would love to say this is a hot.
You gonna go in Buffalo?
I'm going Buffalo.
I figured.
How'd you know? It's like, I'm from here and I just,
Yeah.
romanticize football a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
you've got the home crowd. It's no matter what your record leading up to Thanksgiving is, that place is always packed.
And
it's just
it doesn't
the
matter.
tradition.
Yep.
It's what it is. Imagine them being able to win some football games, and now you've set up to have one of the best teams in the NFL come to your place. That place is going to be packed. And if they're got a winning record, they're right around 500, that's a big game. Yeah, I certainly think that there's an opportunity anytime you pack Ford Field and you can make that crowd become an advantage for your football team. I think you always have a chance to win.
I'm thinking back to Minnesota last season. First win of the year.
Yeah.
That place was insane.
Well, and I take it back even before that. I mean, it was a number of years ago. I forget what the year was, Mike, when they hosted their first Monday Night Football game, and for however many years.
That was 2011.
2011, yeah.
Week 5,
and that I've never left Ford Field before with my ears still ringing. It was that loud. Chicago had, what was it?
They had 11 false
11
starts
false
on offense.
starts in that game.
Gotta get that
so
going
loud.
again.
Yeah, it really
But that's
was.
what Ford Field can be that.
Yep.
If you allow it to be. If you get off to a good start, we talked about it. You got 3 of your first at home, right?
Yeah.
Be 3-1. Be 4-0. You know, at the
love
very
that.
least, you're 2-2, and then you build up to that Thanksgiving. And if you're playing meaningful games in late November, December, early January, the city is dying for this football team to be really good, to be really, really relevant at the end of the year. And if you can be that, I'd love for Ford Field to be back what it was, back in 2011 when, that was their first playoff run in a long time, and they had a really good football team, and that place was just electric, and it would be so fun for it to be again. So
Voice of the
I
people.
think your Bills pick is a good one.
Yeah.
If they're good at
appreciate
that
that.
point, they've got a chance.
And just one other thing, too. Our sports teams are down a little bit right now, so why not the Detroit Lions
Why
be
not?
the one to rise to the top? Why not?
Why not?
You guys out there, why not?
With voice of the people, man. If you guys aren't running through brick walls at this point, I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay, that's the major schedule breakdown. Of course, we will continue to talk about this leading up to preseason, week 1. We're going to have so much fun with it. We've got to get back to that trivia answer, though. I'm sorry, Mike.
I don't want to hear it.
I still
Give me
need you
that
to
notebook
confirm
back.
if you were alive during this. Okay, the trivia question earlier was, when is the last time the Detroit Lions opened at home against the Philadelphia Eagles? It's been a minute. Mike, when was it?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Were you on this earth yet?
I was in the sort of the mix,
I'm done asking questions about your birthday, Mike. Okay, it is 1935 is the last time Detroit opened against the Eagles. Final score, it was a butt whooping, for lack of a better term. 35-0. Detroit Lions got the win, and it was their first NFL championship.
Yeah, and I think that was the year that the Red Wings might have won a championship. Joe Louis was a heavyweight champ. I think the Tigers won the World Series, and that's how, in that era, that's how they became known as the City of Champs.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a great
Detroit.
era.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah, just don't take 100 years to do it, We're
I
in
don't have 100
2022.
years left.
I know. Please do it for Mike.
Can we get off of this?
I'm sorry for everything I just revealed about Mike's age.
I do not keep my birthday in Roman numerals, okay?
I'm going to have to see your driver's license to figure that out, confirm that. Okay, that is all we've got. Any final words? We've sent the people through brick walls. Anything else we could possibly say?
Well, just one thing I was thinking about, we talk about about the schedule and all that, but let's keep in mind, week 2, week 3, week 4, there's going to be like 10 major injuries in the National Football League, and it's going to change things too.
I know,
So
hate it.
we can make all the great plans and projections, and all of a sudden, like that, things change.
Wow.
Can't wait to see this offense.
Same here.
That's me. I think this offense has a chance to be really sneaky good with
What
the
about this-
offensive line, with the
Yeah.
weapons they have. But you got a Pro Bowler at tight end. I think DeAndre Swift can be a Pro Bowler at running back. Just some of the things that they can do with this offense now, and all indication is Ben Johnson is really, really smart. The players that we've
Yes.
talked to love him as their offensive coordinator, and so. To me, that's early on. I think that's going to be the strength of this football team. And can that offense come out firing? Can they pick up where they left off last year? And if they can, this team can get off to a pretty good start, Danny.
Lions just drafted 6 of 8 defensive players, and you're saying
Yeah.
offense right now.
That's why they drafted
says
6
so
of 8
much.
players, because
Yeah.
they liked where their offense was. They just needed a couple pieces. They got
Yeah.
those pieces. they need to get better on the defensive side of the ball. Aaron Glenn knows that. Dan Campbell knows that. But offensively, they could be sneaky good.
Oh my God.
And I like going back to the 4-3 defense. I do, and part of it's tradition and all that. I go back to the old fearsome force and the silver rush defense and all that. Those are the guys who got after the quarterback, made their lives miserable. I mean, great football players too. Let's see a return to that.
Yeah, Detroit certainly emphasized getting to the quarterback this past offseason and draft. Okay, thank you so much for joining the Detroit Lions schedule release show. We're not done yet. We're sending you off with a nice little hype reel to get you ready and just give you the first glimpse of all the opponents the Detroit Lions will face there in 2022. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Looks, throws, end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! With time, throws, end zone, caught, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!